Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Cyrus Pattinson, big amateur star, is being groomed for pro success. He took a pretty decent step forward, I think, against a guy called Jorick Luisetto. Luisetto is from France. Went into the fight with 12 wins, 4 defeats. Of the 12 wins, he had 3 by knockout, but none of his 4 defeats were by stoppage. Well, he was shown the canvas by Mr. Pattinson, I'm afraid, because Pattinson stopped him in 6 rounds, and it was a good, mature performance for a guy with only 5 professional fights. This was some impressive stuff. Both southpaws. Immediately, Pattinson came out with some very sort of. He's very good at the textbook style. Lots of jabs, hanging everything off the jab, hooks. Went to the body early as well. And Mr. Luisetto, tough guy, bald head, big beard. Looks like he's put his head on upside down. Yeah, he had that image. No one's stopping me, but he was second best, and he was trying. Don't get me wrong; he wasn't particularly defensive. He was throwing his own punches from quite early on. But the guy with the talent, oozing the confidence, the guy who controlled the range, the guy on the front foot was, without question, Pattinson. And gradually, you could tell as the rounds went on, he was grinding down Luisetto. He was, and again, I emphasise the body work from early on. That was money in the bank. It was a 10-round fight. It was one of those, international trinkets. I think it was the IBO Continental Welterweight belt or whatever the hell that is. It's meaningless, isn't it, really? But this was a good fight. Again, only Pattinson's 5th fight. Liked his footwork. He isn't one of those guys who bounces around, but he does use his feet well. I don't like all that wasted energy when fighters come out and they're sort of jitterbugging and bouncing around. I think it's a lot of it's just showing off. And it's all flash and no dash, no real meaning to it. Pattinson's not like that. You can tell he's got that excellent amateur schooling, and he punched first always, all the time. And when Luisetto was punching back, Pattinson was giving him some more of it. So, in other words, Pattinson was fighting a high-tempo fight, and Luisetto was forced to fight at a pace he didn't want, and was taking way too many punches from the word go. Well, there isn't a great deal to add other than the fact that gradually Pattinson was grinding the guy down. It was the water on rock effect. And by the 6th round, Luisetto, before that actually, 4th or 5th round, Luisetto was bleeding. I think he had nosebleed, maybe a cut to the mouth. I think blood was coming out of the nose, certainly. But by the 6th round, he was looking quite forlorn. His body language wasn't good. And the look in his eyes, it was quite striking. He knew he was on a loser here. Didn't stop trying, took his lumps like a man. But there were 2 knockdowns in the 6th round, and again it was the controlled aggression of Pattinson. The way he went forward, didn't take a backward step. The moment he was in range, he was throwing punches head to body, body to head. I always love seeing that. That's an important thing. Vary your work, both hands, both sides of the body, both sides of the head. And Jorick Luisetto was just out of his depth, frankly. And 2 knockdowns. Bravely, Luisetto got up from the first one. The referee let it go on. Looked like he was going to jump in on a few occasions, and actually did jump in about 30 seconds after the first knockdown to stop it. But the punches had already had the effect, and Luisetto fell flat on his back. The 2 knockdowns, Luisetto was literally flat on his back, and a lot of that seemed to be exhaustion and the wear and tear. It wasn't just a one-punch effect. But yeah, I mean that's a good win. Luisetto was 33, and I think. Pattinson, much the younger man, well, 28, so he's 5 years younger. But Pattinson is at the point where he's got his man strength, where he's probably in his physical prime. He's only had 5 pro fights, 3 of those have been by knockout, but he's got to get his skates on. They're fast tracking him. I don't see any reason to hold him back. I'm not a fan of fast tracking fighters that much, but this guy, I wouldn't go jumping too far ahead. I know that if you hold a real sort of gilt-edged prospect behind you, they can go a bit stale. So maybe he's the type of guy who wants tough fights now. I don't see any reason why he can't have I forget all these stupid alphabet soup belts. Go for the Commonwealth, the British, maybe the European, do something like that. I'd much prefer to see that route, but He's with the Zone. You know, I suppose they'll take what they can. But a good win. Good win for a guy who's probably going places. And yeah, I thought it was good. Did you see it? If so, leave your comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, please. Just hit that subscribe button. Great help to the channel. Hit the like button if you like the video. Thank you for your time, as always. There's plenty more boxing to come tonight. In the meantime, take care of yourselves. We'll speak again soon, and bye for now.